The DEA claims the border city is a major hub for opioids and meth smuggling into the United States. Just days ago, the Border Patrol releasing a report showing illegal immigrant arrests in January were up 1,500, 88% from January of last year. According to a new Judicial Watch report, radical Islamist terrorists are being smuggled into a rural town near El Paso with the help of the cartels. Judicial Watch also exposing corruption within El Paso's law enforcement agencies. The sheriff's office there has recently been embroiled in scandal, and these scandals not stopping the current sheriff and the current mayor from blasting the president for linking El Paso's drop in crime to the building of a border wall. But clearly, that's working. Last year in Ciudad Juarez, the Mexican city just across the border from El Paso, almost 1,250 murders, more than 54 times the 23 murders that were reported in El Paso, although the DEA and other agencies say that those numbers by the El Paso authorities are seriously doctored. It is a major hub, they say, for Mexican opioids and methamphetamines en route to the rest of the United States. Joining us tonight, Tom Fitton, the president of Judicial Watch, who has released the documentary entitled The Sun City Cell, exposing El Paso as the headquarters of a sophisticated narco-terrorist ring. Good to have you with us, Tom. This is your reports, the documentary. This is chilling stuff, particularly to think the President of the United States is there tonight.
He's on the front lines of where the border wars are in terms of the narco-terror attacks on our sovereignty and our national security. It's there in El Paso. We have information. We've been investigating this for for years, Lou, that they're bringing what our law enforcement calls special interest aliens, smuggling them through the El Paso sector into the United States. And they're special interest aliens not because they have interesting hobbies or personalities, Lou. It's because their travel and other activities suggest terror links and other national security issues. So this is a significant crisis, and El Paso is right in the center of it. So it's appropriate the president's there highlighting the need for border security. You know, El Paso has this border barrier between the two cities, Juarez and El Paso.
Right.
But outside of El Paso, left and right into New Mexico and then down south, virtually no border security at all, and it's a freeway for the cartels and any trafficking they want to do, drugs, people, or terror.
It is really a triad of cities, Las Cruces, New Mexico, El Paso, and Juarez, and has always been in modern history a trafficking corridor, whether it's human smuggling, drug smuggling, or sex trafficking. It goes through that region, and it's stunning that corruption in the minds of many lawmakers doesn't occur on both sides of the border. It's just a Mexican problem. We know better, don't we?
We do. And, you know, when we were doing this reporting initially, we were getting a lot of key information from various sources. And who but Congressman Beto O'Rourke started making phone calls to the feds to try to suppress Judicial Watch's reporting. Right. This is what we were dealing with. We were getting the truth out, and you had elected members of Congress like Beto O'Rourke, who represented the El Paso area, trying to suppress the truth by intimidating the feds from telling the truth about the border crisis. Unbelievable.
And the president, in your judgment, well, let me just ask you straightforwardly. There aren't many places in the United States where this president would have to be better protected because of the threats that surround the city in which he is visiting.
The cartels control that area, I think, on both sides of the border effectively, but certainly on the Mexican side of the border. You know, that's got to be part of the discussion here. You know, we've got our sovereign border. On one side, it's the United States. On the other side, it isn't the Mexican government controlling it. It's the cartels. Right. They control the border regions along the United States. A wall is the least that is required to protect our security.
Tom, thank you very much for being here and exposing the truth of what is the El Paso Juarez area. We'll throw in Las Cruces as well, where New Mexico, Texas join. It's stunning to think that that Mexico is in the situation that it is. I mean, we're talking over 33,000 murders. Those are just the ones that are reported. They're very seldom solved, if at all, in Mexico, and they are all to the blame straightforwardly on the drug cartels and their incessant and intensifying wars with one another.
And fed by our open borders, Lou. We got to shut the borders. We'll help ourselves and help the Mexicans.
Yeah, and that's part of it that people don't understand. It is not only for the American citizen, although that is reason enough, in my judgment, any day to build the wall, right, but the Mexican people themselves will benefit as well. Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.